Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to give a little review of the original text version of The Secret of the Old Mill. This is, well, obviously the number 3 in the Hardy Boys series. This, of course, wait, was it 3? Yeah, I think it is 3. I'm sorry, I'm getting the numbers all mixed up. Well, technically I get the first of... Well, no, because I know that the Tower Treasure is the first one, and the House on the Cliff is number 2, which should mean that this is number 3. Because the Missing Chums is number 4. Okay, so no, I was remembering correctly. Sorry, the number isn't on this book particularly, but considering it's, a 1930s books, one of the 1930s books, it's pretty good. It comes off like a regular Hardy Boys mystery. You do have like the little rivalry between them and one of the police officers. It's Con Riley. In this book, it become I don't know if it was Oscar Smuff originally in the first 2 books in the original text. I have not read them because this is the first book in the Hardy Boys series that I have of the original text, and in this one it's Con Riley, but I do know that in the revised text you got Oscar Smuff. And he's annoying. But that's Con Riley in this book, apparently. It's not even Jeeve Colleague is, that impressed with him. There has been talk of the Hardy Boys questioning authority, going against authority, stuff that we kind of see in the later series, but whatever. That some few people were complaining about, but when I was reading this, it was like, it wasn't like they really had it out specifically for police officers in general. It was just one police officer. That was Con Riley. Oscar Smuff. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if he's in the original text, but he's definitely in, the revised text of the Tower Treasure. And I think House of the Cliff? I know he's in the Tower Treasure because I reread that recently. And I want to say the thing is, I also reread House on the Cliff too. I don't remember him being in there. So maybe he wasn't in there. But point is, there's a police officer that kind of doesn't like the boys, and the boys kind of don't like back. So they got this whole little thing going on. It isn't touched on for very often. But the other thing with this book is also, though it does have a focus on the mystery, that's obviously the main focus, there's a few, what I would call Tom Sawyer elements to it as well. There's a sense of adventure. There's the boys going out and exploring, complaining about having to do school. However, in this book, you also kind of get to see some of the other side of that. Instead of Ken, we have Lester, who is apparently an orphan. He's living with his uncle. So, he gets caught up in all this, but he's telling the boys, I wish I could go to school. Apparently he wasn't going to school in the original text. In the revised, I think he was, because it was in the summer when the Secret of the Old Mill took place. In the original, is the end of the school year, and summer's about ready to start. They're cramming for their examinations, and this is the perfect read for next month. And you're like, well, in between studying, please. But yeah, this is, you're just like, oh yeah, I know where these guys are going. We're panicking because it's the end of the school year. We've got examinations, so we gotta, be prepared for all that. So, all that craziness. And so they solve the mystery, because, there's a week, like 5 days at a time, they are not out solving the mystery, so they solve it on the weekends. Or, get clues on the weekends, so, it's, stuff like that. Anyways, so, in comparison to the revised text, the major differences that are mostly prominent is that Mr. Hardy does not work for Ekton. Or Eklund. I don't remember how it's spelled, but it was this, that science company that Mr. Hardy works for in the revised text. And the boys eventually figure out that he's working for him, because they technically ended up working on the same case. Just do it coming at it from two different angles, and of course they meet in the middle. But that's not in it, so there's no science aspect, there's no explosions. The mill literally really is used just as a front for the counterfeiting ring. I don't say that word often enough, and so I'm going to be tripping myself over myself every time I say it. I can read it, but I can't say it all the time. So, so the mill literally is the front for the counterfeits. And so, they gotta get, it's primarily gathering the clues, pretty much, because it's almost like who the villains are. Like, what was it? The 5th chapter? 4th. 3rd to 4th-ish chapter, you're just like, oh yeah, those are obviously the bad guys. Not quite so much of a mystery, for which I will give kudos to the revised text, because they don't know that much about their adversaries. They don't come across them and you're like, oh yeah, they're the bad guys. I mean, you still have that element of, oh yeah, they're definitely the bad guys. But there's a little bit more mystery, if you will, to it. So, it feels a little bit more satisfying when they figure out everything at the end. Whereas in this, you're just like, 3rd or 4th chapter, oh, I think I figured out the entire mystery. Now you just gotta go around figuring out how you're gonna get the police, or at least the proof, and the proof to the police. So, yeah. But, I mean, it's still a pretty good read, pretty good story. It's just those a couple of complaints. So, yeah, I'd say it's a pretty decent read. Yes, there's the mention of he's a swarthy, swarthy skin tone. But it's, pretty brief, and you're just like, what color was his skin again? He's like, yeah. But you're gonna see a lot of that in these books. So we were talking about it in the Nancy Drew, I think it's the book fans or the game fans. I keep forgetting which one I see some of these posts in. But yeah, someone had pointed out, hey, you see this and characteristics. Don't trust the beady black eyes. Don't trust black eyes. Red hair. Swarthy skin, which is technically Mediterranean skin tones. It's basically how I would describe what they're, what what it's described as, besides just sailors. Poor sailors. Bad guys of everything. I feel so sorry for you guys. Join the Nautilus. Anyways, so yeah, there's a little, you know, Tom Sawyer-like feel to it, which is fun. I like Tom Sawyer. But otherwise, you know, there are some obvious differences, and, you know, a couple of those little yikes moments. You're just like, this was in the 30s, let it go. You know, just let it go. They don't actually spend that much time on saying, oh, it's swarthy skins, swarthy skins. You know, it's just to give a little general description of the guy, and just like, yeah, this guy's the villain, steer clear. So, but yeah, other than that, it's a pretty good read. Obviously, a little different from the revised. Though I might have to say in this case, if I were to compare the revised to the original, I might prefer the revised a little bit more. It's kind of more of a tie with, because there's some pretty good plot points in the original as well. So, you know, it kind of varies. Again, it's really up to you. I'm okay with it. Pretty compelling story, keeps you rolling through the pages. Kind of keeps you guessing a few times, but after that, it's just like waiting for the boys to round up the gang. And then the whole gang. Apparently, there's more people in this gang in this book than in the revised, so yeah, there's that too. But anyway, so that is Secret of the Old Mill. Thanks for coming to my channel, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.